But let me suffice to one, as I mentioned before, say thanks to all those involved and the ministry in particular for the efforts thus far. I agree that at some point, while due diligence is always in place or should be in place, at some point we need to take the step of deciding that, especially on a law of this nature, we're going to get a law on higher education in place. And yes, it might require tweaking, monitoring, evaluating, etc. But we gotta, at some point, we gotta say, this is the law we are ready to go with. And stating that, I repeat a question asked by a colleague in terms of the minister before us now, whether the minister and his support staff, the ministry, have taken note of the answers as provided to the members of parliament when we had the discussion in the Central Committee on this draft law. And I ask this again specifically because many were the questions like there are today on the University of St. Martin in the whole context of this law. The University of St. Martin has expressed several concerns, even recommendations, to the Parliament, and as indicated in the introduction to this meeting, the comments by the University of St. Martin were shared with the ministry. And so I asked, like some of my colleagues have done, whether attention was paid to the comments by the University of St. Martin, one, and if so, how are they reflected, if they are, in this draft law? And then I have a very basic suggestion to the minister and the ministry based on where we are in this discussion. And we have started a public meeting on this draft law, and my suggestion through you, Madam Chair, Lady, to the minister would be if before the minister returns to Parliament to answer the questions of Parliament, because after this we have another round to go, if the minister could just sit with the university on the draft that is before Parliament now, take the recommendations, comments, concerns of the University of St. Martin into consideration, and in as far as possible, see where an amendment could incorporate the things that the university is indicating, unless, of course, it is not possible, but then at least that answer be given to the University of St. Martin and the Parliament of St. Martin. Because I remember asking when we dealt with this matter in the Central Committee, when and how the university was consulted, and it was answered not on the final draft that is in Parliament. So I'm asking if that can still be done, and maybe not everything that a university has commented on and would like to see is possible in this draft, but then at least let us have the answer as to why not. So that would be my suggestion to the University of St. Martin. Of course, my feelings and that of the faction of the Democratic Party on the University of St. Martin are well known. And sorry, it is not for nothing that we keep highlighting the coming into being of the University of St. Martin. It says something not only about education and the way we value education on St. Martin, it says something about St. Martin itself. And with that I mean that the University of St. Martin, first of all, there are a couple of things we need to take into consideration when we speak of the University of St. Martin. One, at the beginning of the University of St. Martin, that institution was called a university, when we were nowhere close to offering anything that a university as such would offer. But that name was given to it and maintained throughout, up until the point where we are today, and growth is still envisioned and possible for the University of St. Martin. Secondly, the University of St. Martin, and the part of that name, St. Martin, is spelled S-T-M-A-R-T-I-N. And it is spelled like that for a reason. It represents St. Martin, the people of St. Martin, the aspirations of the people of St. Martin where education is concerned. So I say all of this to say that a university of St. Martin, in this case, the University of St. Martin, means something more than just an institution of higher education for this country. It represents the aspirations of St. Martin where education and the educating of our people are concerned. So I say this to amplify the point of let us look if there's anything at this moment in this law without delaying the process of coming to the law on higher education. Is there anything that we can do to make sure that the aspirations of the University of St. Martin are taken along in the process of this law? We have it in front of us now. It is going through the channels of the Parliament, and hopefully within the not-too-distant future, we will come to the establishment of a law on higher education. And if the possibility is there for the government to make amendments in order to incorporate some of the issues that the University of St. Martin has highlighted to Parliament, then I think the opportunity is now to do so. Of course, members of Parliament, we can come with amendments ourselves, we can come with motions or whatever have you, but it is known that that cannot happen or nothing will happen unless we do this in consultation with the government. Having seen all of the work that the government has put into this draft, I'm saying in order to close this chapter in the way that we would like to close it, the whole handling of the law on higher education, let's just make that extra step. I look forward to the responses to the questions by government. And I think, yes, finally, there is some light at the end of the tunnel where the law on higher education is concerned. So, Madam Chair Lady, I thank you for the opportunity.